Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals, your weekly dive into all things Nintendo and friendship. But plot twist, we also talk about news. And speaking of plot twists, we're going to be ranking our favorite plot twists in Nintendo games. Or games that are on Nintendo systems. And with that, Micah, are you ready to jump on in to the episode?
Yep.
Let's do it. I couldn't find my proper transition effect. So here we are with a very abrupt transition to me. And also Micah's here. Micah, how are you?
Pretty good.
That's great to hear. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Yeah, I straight up can't find... Oh, there it is. There's that effect. Anywho, before we dive too far into things here, I just want to give a huge thank you and shout out to all of our fantastic supporters who have left us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, and Audible. All those places let you leave 5-star reviews for our show. It helps people discover our show and helps us feel good about ourselves. So please go in. If you haven't already, leave us a 5-star review on the podcast listening platform of your choice. And while you're out there, maybe check out our Patreon, where for as little as $1, you can become a financial supporter of this thing that we call Nintendo Pals. Just like brand newest Patreon supporter, Travis Wilson, thank you so much for joining up on Patreon. We appreciate you. Patreon perks including early access to our shows and our bonus show, Nintendo Pals Plus, where we talk about whatever. Yeah. But Micah, I think that's all the housekeepery items that we have. Get out of the way here. What have you been up to lately?
Not too much.
Yeah, same here. It's been a lot of content creation focus. So for my YouTube, for those that just listen to the podcast, I also do streams and YouTube for my personal channel, Andros1. If you haven't checked that out, highly recommend it. That's where a lot of my energy and effort has been going. But as of the date of recording, we are very shortly before the Super Bowl. Are you doing anything for that? Now, for those that aren't in the States, the Super Bowl is kind of like a national holiday here. I don't follow football at all. But we just happened to record that football-themed episode and are releasing that like today or like real soon. So it's like, yeah, we planned that actually. It was very calculated.
We're good at what we do.
Yeah, but are you doing anything for it? Do you usually watch?
I don't think I'm doing anything.
Yeah,
Sometimes watch.
Yeah, I've been invited. I enjoy being invited to Super Bowl parties, but I don't watch football. I just go for the food. Like, that's where it's at. I was invited to one with coworkers a couple of years back, and it had like so much yummy snack food. It was great. I don't even remember who was playing. I think J-Lo was
probably name several
halftime.
that were there.
It's the halftime show, and I remember some of the commercials. Right? Because Super Bowl commercials, I feel like the last several years they've been bad. Like they haven't been as good as they used to be.
Yeah. Maybe we've just gotten older.
Yeah, now we're more cynical. We're like, I don't want to be advertised to. It's like less entertaining of a thing. But I also just feel like ads in general have been like way not as funny lately.
Yeah, the Tide ads from sometime in the past were really good.
Those were good. It's a Tide ad. But this isn't a Tide ad. They're not a sponsor, and we will not be mentioning that brand. We'll have to come back in and post and bleep those out. Just kidding. We don't do things like that.
I will say, when you say Tide ad quickly, it sounds like gibberish.
Yeah.
Like, it's a Tide ad. And I'm like, what the heck is a Tide ad?
Well, the
What does that even mean?
best Tide ad was when it was the Old Spice ad, which is another classic that you and I both love, the Old Spice guy. The era of Old Spice guy on a horse and Terry Crews Old Spice guy.
Oh yeah. Plus, then they had the Mr. Clean Tide ad. It's really good.
That was good. Yeah, that was like the end game of advertisements, right? So many
really
crossovers, so many random crossovers. Man, I'm trying to think of other other commercials I remember. I also really vividly remember the one with Dwight from The Office. That actor. Is it Rain?
Yeah.
Rain.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson, I think.
Rainn Wilson. Yeah. He. Someone is like delivering a Little Caesars pizza, and they're like, "Wow, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread." And it cuts to Rainn Wilson, who is CEO of the sliced bread company, and it's just like a montage of the company going under. And then it cuts back to a delivery, and the person's like, "Wow, this new Little Caesars delivery is the greatest thing." And then it shows him; he's the delivery guy. Since sliced bread, yeah, I know. It's pretty funny. That's a funny one. You have any other favorites from commercials?
I think it was a Super Bowl, maybe it wasn't, but it was some car commercial, and it had Morpheus, Lawrence Fishburne. From the
Yes,
Matrix.
yeah,
What luxury sounds like.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. And like all these things are like exploding and stuff in the background while he's just driving the car. Oh, that's so good.
And like singing opera.
Yeah. Or there was the one with Aquaman actor. What's his name?
What is his name?
Jason Momoa, where he is at his house and he takes off his muscles, and he's actually just like a super scrawny guy. That one was pretty funny. Anyway, Super Bowl commercials can be funny, but all the ones we're mentioning are like years old at this point. I don't think we've had good ones, at least something that memorable to us. But anywho, this was a tangent that went nowhere and has nothing to do with Nintendo at all. So why don't we get into the first segment of our show? Let's talk what you playing. Michael, what have you been playing lately, dude? What's been on the docket on your Nintendo Switch?
Well, I've played quite a bit more Golden Sun, The Lost Age. Finished it up a few days ago.
Let's go.
It was fantastic. And then, like, the day after I beat it, or like 2 days after, I had the most wonderful dream I've ever had in my life, where they made another Golden Sun game. Awesome.
That is pretty great.
And in the dream, I actually remember thinking, is this a dream or did this really happen? And then I looked it up on Google in my dream, and I was like, incredible, it's real. And then I woke up and I was crushed.
That's
absolutely crushed. I was devastated.
That has to be one of the most depressing wake ups.
It was horrible. I didn't get out of bed for like 6 hours.
It just completely ruined your day. Nice. Anything else you want to highlight you've been playing?
just the classic. I played a little more Rocket League, a little more Splatoon, and then I did try the Mario versus Donkey Kong demo,
Ooh, how was
which
that?
takes about 5 minutes to beat. But
wait,
it was
wait,
pretty good.
5 minutes?
It had like 4 levels.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's level based, not like timer based.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, it was a little more than 5 minutes, maybe, but it was pretty short.
How are you feeling about it now that you've tried the demo?
I mean, it seemed pretty good,
You think you'll
but
pick
at the
it up?
same time, it seemed real or pretty easy
Mm,
because it's. I think it was like the first. Well, they jumped around a little bit. You played like levels 1, 3, 5, and then like the end boss ish level,
interesting.
which has a slightly different mechanic of like these little toy Mario's following you around, which is pretty cool. But I mean, I probably won't be picking it up,
Yeah, I
but
think I'm
that's just
passing
because
on
I
this
have
one as well.
other games to play. It's kind of the problem. I I do think I would enjoy it,
Yeah.
but one game I did pick up recently actually was Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania.
Okay.
I had to relive my childhood. I had forgotten how difficult some of those levels are that I had apparently beaten as a small child.
Yeah. Does it live up to the nostalgia?
Um, I think the single player stuff has so far. I mean, I haven't really had anyone to play all the. They have like 12 different multiplayer game modes in it that I haven't tried out much of. But
I can't remember if that's the monkey ball I've tried or not. They all sound so similar with their titles. It's like hard to tell which one is which. And
yeah,
there's
this is the
so
one that
many
has
that have
like
been
Monkey Balls
remade
1 and
on.
2.
Yeah, there's so many that have been remade on Switch. But
Yeah, because they got like Banana Blitz, which is the not good remake.
I think that's the one I played, the not good remake. Because I thought it was bad. I was like, this isn't very fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
that,
Banana Mania much better.
good to hear. Good to hear. Well, I'll jump into what I've been playing. So I finally tried some cloud gaming, Micah. I downloaded the
Play some Final
demo.
Fantasy.
I downloaded the demo for uh, almost Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts 1 plus 2 plus Final Remix. Like it has like
Plus music or
it's like the
something.
first like 6 games in one collection. And the demo you can actually play essentially infinite times, but it's timer based. So and then it's like wiped, so you can't like continue progress in anything. So I tried it for Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts Recoded. And for Kingdom Hearts Recoded, I didn't even get to play the game. The cutscenes took so long to start that I never got to gameplay. But Kingdom Hearts 2, you're able to skip cutscenes, and I played through the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2 before, so I like know that. So I just skipped everything to just get into gameplay. And um, my thoughts on cloud gaming are mixed. There were moments and times where it ran perfectly smooth, and I don't think I would have really been able to tell a difference. But there was just a lag, like a slight input, not even slight, like an input delay that was noticeable.
Like when you play
And
the original Mario Bros. On NSO
yes,
together.
yes, it's kind of like that, but I feel like it was almost worse for a 3D game. I don't know if that makes any sense. Um, and if I moved, because at one point I had to help my kiddos with something, So I got up and brought it with me, and it was like really stuttery and struggling because my internet connection wasn't as stable. And this was all using Wi-Fi. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna have a hardwired connection to play cloud games on my Switch. That just does not.
Good.
Yes, I could, but that's not the ideal way to play a Switch game. So my thoughts are that it doesn't work super great because I have a really good internet provider and service, so it's not an issue with like my location or anything like that. It's just it's not there yet. The tech is not there yet. So that's how my experience went. I also downloaded the demo for Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm going to try that one out as well, the cloud version of that. Uh, but yeah, I know this is like now a long time ago at this point because when did these games come out? Like for cloud, like
Like a year or something,
it's
right?
been at least a year, maybe more. And uh, I'm just upset that they didn't release the original games natively because they totally could be put as like native games on the Switch. And I feel like the only reason they went with cloud was consistency. Well, one of the only reasons they went with cloud was consistency. Like, yeah, if you're gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3 on cloud, you might as well play the rest of them on cloud, right? But also probably money. They were like, they don't want to spend money to actually port these games uh, to the Switch. But also, like, they're PS1 and PS2 games, and in some
It's not
cases,
like they'll be that graphically intensive.
yeah, in some cases they're like remakes of DS and Game Boy games. It's like they aren't that graphically intensive, and you could probably just do an emulator and like package that in with the game, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like
Yeah.
a built-in and that would work better than the cloud version. It's just disappointing, man, because it's a cool series. And yeah, Square just makes dumb decisions, I feel like. They just make some weird choices. So my verdict is that cloud gaming could work potentially for like a hardwired connection in like ideal circumstances, but there's too many points of failure to make it an ideal way to play any sort of game where you need to not have lag. And so, late to the conversation, late to the train, finally trying it out, and I can now officially say cloud gaming sucks. Cloud gaming sucks. Remember when every Nintendo Direct had some cloud game announcements? That like died.
Yeah, that was pretty short lived.
Thank goodness, because it wouldn't have. It's just not there. Maybe next generation of systems, but even still, it's like why would you want that when you could just have it natively? It'll always run better if it's native. Like live service games are always struggling as well. It's like we're not Japan. We don't have an internet infrastructure that's like perfect and solid for our entire country.
Yeah.
And I
But I
just
mean, I feel
yeah.
like the only reason to do the cloud based is if
You
you're
have
trying to
no
have a
other
really
way.
graphically intensive game on a not as powerful console.
Yeah. But at that point you should just try and play it anywhere else. That's that's the thing. That's the thing about it. Anywho, that was my adventure in cloud gaming. So then on top of that, I played some Fortnite with my son, enjoying the new season. I'm trying to get the old man snake skin. That's what I've been working on there. Pokemon Go. We're in the middle of like a dragon themed event.
Oh yeah, they got the Drampa
Yep, I caught a
Pokemon
Drampa.
making its debut.
Did a raid with my buddies at the office, and we got the Drampa. I also got
Seeing one.
Also got a Latios and Latias Mega.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So that's pretty cool.
Well, I got a shiny. What's the second evolution in Pokemon? Bellsprout
The second
something.
evolution in Pokemon. That is the
Well, the
most
Bellsprout.
of
I said, yeah, I said
yeah,
first Bellsprout and then something and then Victory Bell, right? What?
yeah,
There's a middle one, right?
Weeping Bell.
Weeping Bell, yeah. I got a shiny Weeping Bell, which turns out looks very similar to a not shiny Weeping Bell.
Those are the worst. Bad shinies should be illegal. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, why do that? What's the point? Uh, um, yeah, the Pokeball Plus Plus for me has caught a couple shinies, which has been cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
And I am currently trying to evolve a shiny Noibat.
Ah, I got one of those.
It's a
The
cool
problem
shiny.
is, I feel like the Noibat shiny is better than the evolved. What if it's like or something?
Oh, really? That's gonna be devastating to hear.
It's probably more of a personal thing for this one, I think. But I
What? No,
thought
it
I
no.
don't know.
What are you talking about? It's like the same.
It's like the same, but it's not the same.
I do think you're right. Shiny Noibat looks better, but that's just because Noibat looks better than the second evolution. I'm a sucker for when the
Yeah, it's
shiny
probably a
becomes
little
like
bit true.
green. My favorite color. So yeah, that's what I been playing in the realm of Nintendo. I'll talk about Pal World. I've been playing Pal World. So I'm doing a challenge run of that over on Andros One, where I'm playing as Jeff Bezos, and the challenge is that I can only catch people. And my goal at this point is to acquire all the other companies in the region by capturing the bosses at the towers. So far, I've acquired two. I've acquired the Free Pal Alliance and the Syndicate.
Free Pal Alliance kind of almost sounds like good guys.
The Free Pal Alliance is basically Team Plasma from Black and White. They want to free all the
With
pals.
N, right?
Yep. They want to free all the pals so that it's easier to control all the pals. I don't know what their actual plan is. I'll have to look at the character because
It's like that doesn't seem to track.
well, there's like lore things that you can pick up around the map. Anyways, when I played with you, I didn't do any of the base building. I did like none. I was just wandering around and exploring and catching pals.
Yeah, doing all the fun stuff.
That's not even like base building is a major piece of the game that I had just not done at all because I would just come back and you guys had built up like a bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. So just took advantage of what other people did. So learning that system was interesting, and also learning that captured people, like because you can capture humans in Pal World, uh, can't do anything except for craft at the crafting table. So if you like pick a recipe, they'll come over and they'll help you build. That's it. They can't do farming. They can't do they can't do mining. They can't do even like tree chopping. They can do nothing, and they can't fight other than like weak punches. Even if you catch them and they have a gun, they will still have the gun and they will just like punch things with the gun.
Yeah, they got limited ammo, making it
But
realistic.
the loophole to that problem is that I catch the bosses because that's a person riding a pal, and so it's essentially that
Yeah,
pal.
it's a little bit of a gray area, I think.
Yeah, well, I needed some goal in the game, and also it would be nigh impossible without without doing something there. Because once you get into like later areas in the game, it is so convenient to have the boss because their health is
It's like an
so
unstoppable
high.
killing machine.
No, they're not an unstoppable killing machine. Zoe and Grisbolt is the first boss that I acquired. I acquired the Syndicate company, but up against like level 20 pals, they they're holding their own, but they're like not doing enough damage to.
Yes, they're an unstoppable fighting machine.
Yes, but
Not necessarily winning, but
yeah. So I throw them out basically as a bullet sponge while I run away. They distract the enemies while I bail. So it kind of turned into a stealth game almost, where I would like try and sneak past as many guys as I could to get to the next tower. Yeah,
nice.
fun game. The base building mechanics are really cool, and I built my base in the best spot. So you know the windswept hills where you start in that game,
Yep.
in front of that like bird statue. Well, behind you is like a mountain, right? I climbed to the top of that, and there's like some ruins up there. Not a ton of space, but like you can build your base on that. So I built my base just up there, and I got raided by the Syndicate.
Yeah, I was like, what?
They couldn't get there. They were just all stuck down at the bottom of the mountain trying to get up. They're like, oh, I was like, I don't even know what they're gonna do. They can't even get to me. So that was pretty fun. But also, there's just a hole up there. If I take a wrong step, I could just fall and die. But it's a cool looking house.
That's all that really matters.
That is all that really matters at the end of the day. Pal World's lore is dark. The first person that we didn't really talk to because someone, I won't name names, but their name rhymes with Ica, punched the starting survivor guide. And but if you talk to that person, they talk about how all their friends died because pals ate them, and then they say something along the lines of like, I tried doing graves for everybody, but when the numbers passed the 100 mark, I just couldn't keep up. It's like, what the heck? What the heck? And then you see these like little pal chickens walk by, like la 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 la. Lamb ball. Hey. I assume it wasn't those ones. It was the.
Yeah, probably not.
It was the big scary ones that passed the bridge. Those ones are aggressive and evil
Those
and
ones
mean.
are so mean.
Anywho, I'm enjoying Pal World. If you're still on the fence out there, you're like, give it a shot. It's fun. I think it's a great game. It's pretty good, but you have to like that genre of survival game. Yeah. So if you like a survival base building game, this and you also like Pokemon, specifically Legends Arceus, you're set. Now with that, Micah, I think we've done enough yapping in what we've been playing. Let's jump over to the next segment of our show. Let's talk some Nintendo news. Today's news is packed. We've got a lot to cover, so let's just jump on into it. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Micah, you want to hit us with our first news item?
Depends. What's the date today?
It is the 9th today, as day of recording. I
should have scrolled back earlier. I guess we already talked about that. The Splatoon 3 extra work results came out, which I totally forgot this was even happening, so I didn't do anything. But if you got above 218, you're in the top 5%.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
172 for the top 20% and 133 for the top 50.
Oh, hang on. I gotta go let my wife in. She's stuck outside. You want to cover the next news item while we do that? The cafe one.
The new Nintendo themed cafe opened up at Universal Hollywood. That's pretty much all I know about it. Looks pretty cool. I'm sure they have overpriced cafe items for purchase.
Yeah, they've got some
Yes.
like interesting snacks at this one. This one's more like snack focused than meal focused. You can get a super mushroom calzone, a one up mushroom calzone, fire flower pretzel, and superstar popcorn. The calzone looks interesting. So yeah. Oh, did I lose Micah? What happened? Well, I'll go on without him for now. But next up in the news, we've got Tears of the Kingdom statues were revealed for what was going to be at the Nintendo Live that was canceled. So they had these like full-size statues of Ganondorf, Link, and Zelda, which kind of match their amiibo. Well,
I'm back.
you're back. You looked frozen again. That was pretty good. It was pretty solid there. But yeah, these statues look really cool, and I just wonder what happens to them after. I guess they all get like shipped around to different like Nintendo locations and so forth. But it's like, can they like sell these or like little replicas of these, like first four figures? You know?
The amiibos are for, right?
Yeah, amiibos are like real small. I want just a giant statue. That's something I would like to have, like of a Nintendo thing. I want a Nintendo statue, like a life size Nintendo statue, not like a first four figures.
Well, I mean, you just get like an Olimar or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Life size Olimar would be pretty cheap.
I feel like the amiibo is a life size Olimar, probably.
I think the amiibo is actually a larger than life scale of Olimar.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we got going for to the statue news. What are we talking about next, Micah? Do the new Spirit event?
Yeah, I have no idea what even this statue news you're talking about came from.
It came from my brain.
Oh, it came from your brain. That explains a lot. Why I had
You're
no
like
idea
trying
what
to
you're
find
talking
it
about when I got here. I
on
was
Discord.
like, "What in the world?"
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, they got once again some new Smash Bros. Spirits coming in from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
What does it mean? What does it mean? Why do we keep
they've
getting
been
new
doing it
spirits?
a bunch.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden they're just like,
It's like every week they have something
maybe
going.
Sakurai is just bored. He's like, what do I do right now? I guess
Maybe
let's
they're
make some more
building up for
spirits.
something.
They announced the dates, kind of in the line with what I was talking about with the statues. Those were showed as part of Nintendo Live that got canceled. So they rescheduled the Splatoon 3 World Championships 2024 and the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe World Championships, which were going to be in December of last year. They will now take place over April 13th and 14th in Japan. So those will be live streamed. There will be details on that to come. Monkey Thunder in the chat here says all these spirits are the characters making it into Smash 6. How hype would that? That would be so hype.
30 more characters.
Oh man, yeah. Hit us with our next news item.
The Chic Amiibo is available at Best Buy. Although, who knows if it's still available if you are not watching this live.
Yeah, it's true. The Wolf Link amiibo is also coming back, and I'm like watching for that one. That's one I want.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
From Software acquires Octopath Traveler's developer Acquire. They acquired Acquire. They didn't acquire a choir. They acquired Acquire company.
Good distinction.
Yeah. And Presto made the comment here. It says Octopath, but it's Dark Souls. I'd play that for sure. An Octopath game I can get behind, I think. Anything else we want to highlight in Nintendo news? We have data for the Nintendo financial stuff. So, I guess that means it's time for the rupee room. Let me throw that on here. The rupee room.
Games, talk about easy money.
All right, let's go through the list of top selling title sales units. That's Nintendo's reporting for the top selling games on the Switch. I think we'll work our way backwards because at this point it's not really a surprise what's in the top, right? So we got at number 1. Backwards. This is forwards. We'll work our way from the top.
Depends on how you want to look at it.
Yeah. Number 1, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which has sold 60.5 million units. That is a crazy number. That is an insane number of units of a game sold. What are like the top selling games of all time?
Wii Sports.
And like how much do those sell? Okay, Minecraft, 300 million.
That's
wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's number 6 in the top selling games of all time.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It's
in the list.
It's like right here in the list. And this says 69 million. Oh, because it's counting Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe. so wait, that's it's right behind Red Dead Redemption 2 if you take away the Wii U ones, which is still bonkers. Cuz the Wii U only adds 9 million. And that's a pretty high comparison rate, isn't it? Cuz like the Wii U only has like 10
13 million or something.
That's pretty crazy. Anywho, Mario Kart just continues to sell. It just continues to sell. And it is awesome. It's a great game. I think it's definitely like the best Mario Kart.
Yep, and that's why they'll never make another because they perfected it.
No, well, they can do more. They can do more. Hit us with we'll go down the list. You hit us with the second game, Micah.
Yeah. Animal Crossing New Horizons with 44.8 million.
Surprise. Whoa, I can't believe it. Then we have Super Smash Bros. At 33 million. Okay, this is number 3 on the list, and it is half what Mario Kart 8 is. This is a crime, by the way, because Smash Bros. Ultimate is leagues better of a game than Mario Kart. I mean, hands down, leagues better of a game. But Mario Kart's more accessible.
Yeah, Smash Bros. Is also pretty accessible.
I would say not. I feel like Smash Bros. Is just more of a technical fighter game. Like Mario Kart. What the heck?
On the assists.
My brain just like anything. Completely rerouted my mouth. Mario Kart 8 is like, yeah, you could just like, it's so easy to play, and there's like not a lot to it, and the assist. Smash Bros. Doesn't have anything like that. You hand that to someone who's never played a video game before, they're going to struggle. You hand Mario Kart, they can do it. Because all it is, if you have all the assists on, it's just hitting a button. and then hitting the item
Just the-
button
yeah,
every once in a
just the
while.
one.
2 buttons. Actually, no, there's auto drive, so you don't even need the
Is
drive
there?
button. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you just need the item button. Anywho, it's 33 million for Smash Bros.
31 million for Breath of the Wild.
27 million for Super Mario Odyssey.
26 million for Sword and Shield.
And then I believe this is new to the list, right? Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet at 24 million units sold. Now, do these count? Because they're two
Yeah,
games in one. Should they count? I mean, they're that's how Nintendo's counting it, obviously.
I mean, they're like practically the same game,
Yeah.
and I don't think there's too much overlap with people buying both. But it does.
I think there's a
pad
fair amount, actually.
sales a little bit.
Yeah.
What kind of crazy people would buy both?
What do you mean? I bought both.
What do you mean?
I bought
Yeah,
both.
that's crazy.
That's not crazy. I got to play it with my kiddo.
It's a little crazy.
A little bit, because it didn't really hook him in like it did for me. Next up, we've got Super Mario Party at 20 million. What number are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8.
And then Tears of the Kingdom at slightly less, 20 million.
It's up there. That's gonna pass Super Mario Party for sure.
Yeah, we've been rounding these, so.
Yeah.
But that one has like 0.06.
And then we have New Super Mario Bros. U at number 10, which makes me a little sad. Wonder should be here instead.
Yeah, wait a second. Where is Wonder? I didn't even think about
Well, it's not up on the top level of lists, but I think we can see it.
That is wild. I mean, it came out pretty recent, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know where I can see that. But you know what we can see? How many Nintendo Switch units have been sold? 139.36 million units. We are closing in on 140 million Switch units sold. And wait, 1,200 million? Wouldn't that be a billion?
1,002. Wait, what?
After a million is a billion, right?
Yes.
Okay. 1.2 billion units of software sold.
Crazy. Yeah, I think I heard that
Insane numbers.
Like, the units of Switches sold has gone down a little bit, but I think the
software sales
software sales have actually gone up a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All these graphs are so confusing.
This has become Nintendo's best-selling system. No, it has not. Nintendo, you got
the DS.
The DS still has it by 5. Oh, by 14. Oh wait, we're not passing that. I don't think it's got another 14 million in it.
There's a chance.
Maybe. But it's already outsold it it's already outsold it in software by a lot.
Yeah,
by a wide margin. Number of titles released. That's an interesting stat. Let's look at this.
I don't remember that being a thing.
Yeah, so if you're on the dedicated video game sales unit section, you can tab over to number of titles released.
Yeah,
and
337 this year, I think.
Yeah, 400 and
which is almost one a day.
Yeah, but is that new titles, or is that just like?
I don't know.
Or is that like additive? Yeah.
Every year, so I'm a little unsure.
Nintendo.
But I mean, if it was additive, that means they like would have 30 titles, which that can't be right. Unless we're not. Yeah, I don't know what falls under because there's like a bajillion indie games coming out all the time.
Oh, no, it looks like that's... Yeah, it looks like that's accurate. It's not additive. So it's like each year it's increased. And for 2023, it was like the highest it had ever been by a wide margin for third party, I guess, is the yellow in that chart.
Yeah, I think
I don't
so.
understand this financial data, but you can find it for yourself
One
if you
says
go over.
OEM and the other one says Nintendo.
Yeah,
I don't know what OEM means. Probably should have prepared a little more.
we should have.
Original equipment manufacturer. I don't think that's what that means.
Outside. Outside engineer manufacturing. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, so
It maybe does mean original equipment manufacturer, and that's just how they group everyone who isn't Nintendo themselves.
So, any surprises on these lists for you?
Just that Mario Wonder isn't there. Sold like I want to say it sold like 4.5 million in like the first 2 weeks.
Um, here's the here's a sales status chart that I'm looking at here as well. It shows that Super Mario Bros. Wonder has sold 11.96 million units, and that Pikmin 4 sold 3.3 million. So, pretty good numbers for all of those things. I think that makes that the best-selling Pikmin title.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And they had number of million seller titles for the last fiscal year were 24. 17 Nintendo titles and 7 titles by other software publishers. I wish you could see those lists.
Not too shabby. Yeah.
My assumption is like Minecraft.
Yeah. That shouldn't even count. It's already over 1 million.
Well, but it probably sold
a million more.
Exactly, an additional million. And then Stardew Valley seems to always be up there.
Sea of Stars, I heard at some point, sold over 1 million.
Sea of Stars could be up there.
But yeah, that's also multi-platform, isn't it?
Yeah. I know, that's all cool stuff. All cool data. Quarter 3 was lower for... So this is fiscal year for 2024. Quarter 3 was lower than quarter 3 in 2023, but not by about 10 million in sales for hardware. But I feel like that's kind of to be expected, right? Like each year, less sales should theoretically be happening unless they introduce a new model or some special. But the OLED model sold the most, obviously, than the standard. The Nintendo Switch Lite actually sold more this quarter than it did last year, same time. Which is kind of weird. I haven't heard much about the Switch Lite. Felt like they kind of died off. But that's been the games money segment, the Rupee Room. With that, let's head out of the realm of news and into the realm of rumor. What's cooking in the rumor mill?
Switch Pro.
What? No, it's Switch 2 now. We don't call it Switch Pro anymore.
Lots of rumors.
You know,
March reveal.
Of a March reveal. Yeah. So we are going to be following the rumors and news on this pretty closely. I think it's the hype machine is starting to set up here. I still, at this moment, am a firm believer for 2025. That's where I'm sitting. But if it is coming this year in the holiday time period, then I guess we're going to start seeing things soon. March makes sense to start drumming up hype for the upcoming system.
Yeah.
Even if it's like teaser type stuff.
Especially since if it was coming this year, the upcoming system would have Metroid Prime 4 as a launch title.
Which I also predicted was this year. So I could be right and wrong.
Could be, yeah, I also predicted it.
Or that could come this year for Switch, and then Switch 2, whatever the next thing is, comes out next year, and I could be double right. And I would be okay with that. I'd be very happy with that.
That'd be kind of heartbreaking if Metroid Prime
4 is not across.
Releases. Well, if it is across, but you can get it on Switch like 3 months earlier instead of the Switch 2. Because I would prefer to have it on like Switch 2 with better hardware and whatnot, but I don't think I'd be able to resist.
What if the next system has worse hardware? Have you ever considered that? What if they just they're like, you know what? The Switch is too powerful.
It's like $50 now or something.
Yeah, they make it like super cheap. It's like $100, but it can't play like
a potato.
it can't play better games. It's actually and they're just like full embrace. They are the indie machine now. Pokemon goes back to 2D. It'd probably be better off if we're being honest. And
what? No. 3D Pokemon, where's that?
I liked it, but I mean they struggle to develop 3D games. Speaking of, there's
pretty good.
Yeah, but it looked bad still. It still looked bad.
Did it look
yeah,
that bad?
Yeah, it did look that bad.
How bad did it look?
It looked like a PlayStation 1 or 2 title.
That's not even true. When was the last time you saw a PlayStation game?
Fairly recently. Just talking about Metal Gear for something. You're laughing like...
I'm going to send you an image.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me if this is what it looked like to you.
Okay. I'm looking at this image.
Ignore the hand holding a PlayStation.
Yeah. I was just about to say, okay, PlayStation 2 for sure. is what I was about to say. PlayStation 1, Snake doesn't even have eyes. But I feel like Crash Bandicoot, I feel like it's pretty comparable to that. Let me pull up Pokemon Legends Arceus. Yeah, man, that's I feel like that doesn't look the best. It is very stylized, so it looks a lot better than Scarlet and Violet. I will say that. For sure it's better than Scarlet and Violet. Graphically.
I think it looks fantastic.
Well, you didn't. I feel like you're remembering this wrong. Did you ever use
looking at it right now?
Did you ever use the glide mechanic and all the pop in and blah, 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 looks so bad in the distance?
Don't remember that being a thing. Maybe you're just too focused
on graphics. Why does this always turn into oh, you care too much about graphics?
It's your Nintendo phase, man. You're caring about graphics so much now.
I don't. I'm just saying, hold up a Pokemon game next to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, but how long did they spend making those games? They're like, hey, Game Freak, you got 9 months to make this Pokemon game. Good luck.
That's not Nintendo's fault. That's Game Freak's fault. That's the Pokemon company's fault.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say oh, yeah.
Not the developers, though. The upper management.
Yes, I understand. But what I'm saying is it's objectively worse looking than every other Nintendo game on the system.
Yeah, but that's because they made it extra fast. And who cares? I'd
I
rather
care.
play.
I don't think
It's a
it
great
looks
looking
good.
game.
It's
You'd rather wait.
embarrassingly bad looking.
You'd rather wait 3 more years to play a game that looks better but plays the same.
No. I would want it to play better too. Give it more time to cook. Make it so we can walk into buildings maybe instead of it just opens up a menu. Are you crazy? Don't gaslight me. Don't do this, Micah. This
wasted time.
Scarlet and
I
Violet,
don't like
you
walking
couldn't
into
even
buildings.
you couldn't even like there was the interface is so bad. It's like, oh, a store, and you go up to it and it's just a menu that pops up. And then you have to wait. You have to wait like a solid like 5 seconds to preview clothing items. It loads
That's
so
kinda bad.
slow.
But just opening up a menu so I don't have to walk inside buildings to buy things.
Yeah, they saved on so much load time that you could have spent in the menu waiting for things to load in. It's bad. I can't argue that it's good. I still enjoyed the games. And I had a lot of fun. I played it to roll credits. And like I even did some of the post-game content. I'm playing the DLC, which you didn't buy the DLC.
What were we even talking about?
I don't
didn't
even
buy
remember.
the game. We
Scarlet and
Switch
Violet?
2 rumors.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Switch 2 rumors. What are we
You
talking
bought
about?
it
How did
for
we
me.
get here? How did we get here? What's going on? Okay, speaking of Pokemon, back to the rumor mill. 4chan post leaking what looked to be official-looking logos for Pokemon Let's Go Wooper and Pokemon Let's Go Togepi. That'd be pretty hype. I'm not even like that crazy big of a fan of the Let's Go formula. But
That's why would they go with like Togepi? Wooper's pretty good, I think. But when they could have gone with Shuckle or Dunsparce,
Pokemon Let's Go Shuckle.
how great would have been that.
Oh yeah, dude, you and I would have had to be like all in on
had to buy them.
Pokemon. Let's Go Shuckle and Let's Go Dunsparce.
I would have been obligated. to
I
buy
would.
them.
I would have bought both of them if that was the case. Man, it feels like Let's Go Wooper. They're just baiting Small Ant to advertise for them. That's like his favorite Pokemon. Like, and he plays all the Pokemon
Wooper's
challenge
pretty
stuff.
good.
All right. So then we have a name that I don't know how I feel about, Nate the Hate, but he comes up a lot. He's a rumor monger. But Nate the Hate thinks that the next Nintendo Direct will be a partner showcase. That's what he's reporting, not a full-on Direct, and that the reveal for the Switch 2 or whatever the next system is will be in March. Those are where those rumors are coming from, and there's a bunch of people corroborating these other rumor mongers. See. We'll see. Is that it for rumors?
I think mostly, as you mentioned, that there are rumors that the Direct will be happening next week, like the 12th to the 15th ish.
Should we talk about Xbox? This isn't really Nintendo related, but it could be Nintendo adjacent.
The rumors of them moving away from hardware.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors circulating that Xbox will be like rebranding and that they are going to be moving out of the console space and just making software. What are you thinking on this? Do you think this is real?
I mean, it could be. I feel like they already do so much with PC gaming. I feel like it wouldn't be too crazy to move away from making the new Xbox, just keep it on PC, or PlayStation and Switch maximize the platforms they sell it on.
I think this is bonkers. I don't think they're going to get out of the console space. It may transform. to they're going to sell basically a gaming PC, like a budget gaming PC, and maybe it won't be an Xbox. It'll be like the Microsoft game machine. But I don't foresee them jumping out of the console space because the market is there. But they're just going,
Not for Xbox this
yeah.
generation.
I mean this generation, but it's still there. Like they're still selling consoles. I just think they're going to be putting a lot more emphasis on their PC Game Pass and their games being available on as many different platforms as possible, including their own whatever thing that is. I just can't see them being like, yeah, we're out. We're not making consoles anymore. Especially when they just bought all of these game companies to make games for their console.
Or PC games or other consoles.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they're just going, sure, we'll just let all these go to PlayStation. We get a chunk of the funds.
How much money do they really even make selling their own console?
Well, everybody sells them at a loss except for Nintendo. Everybody. PlayStation's selling at a loss. Xbox is selling at a loss for the systems.
So what's the point?
I don't know. Talking Fish in the chat. Were you going to read the chat?
You can read it.
Okay. Microsoft is definitely wanting to keep sinking millions of dollars into failed consoles year after year. I mean, I just don't see them completely exiting the space. I don't. I think they're gonna. If they're going to do something like that, they're going to transition to selling like a budget gaming PC box, which is essentially what an Xbox is at this point. They're like gaming machines. Like the Series S is a good example of that. It's like this is the low end gaming machine to try and be like a budget system that people can hop in and buy. But part of the problem is that they don't have exclusives that make their system worth buying over another system, especially with the emphasis they put on PC gaming. So, yeah. Talking Fish puts it perfectly. It's like they're trying to compete with Nintendo in the low tech space, but without good games. It's like, yeah, it's like if you don't have any like real reason to buy. So I felt like they're buying up all these big studios was sort of posturing them or aligning them to be able to start the next thing real strong. Like they're going to be the next system's just going to be like banger game after banger game. Well, big game after big game. We're going to have Elder Scrolls 6 that'll be like a 7 out of 10.
Is that coming in like 2031 or something?
I don't know. They've just bought so many studios. So Triple B games.
B.
Yeah, good. That is a good one.
That's
Triple B games from Talking Fish. Triple C games. Triple C minus games. Oh man. But yeah, that's what's going on over in Xbox Town. We'll keep an eye on that as well, because this could mean if they truly are getting out of the console space, then we'll see a lot more come to Switch and Nintendo platform, whatever the future Nintendo platform is, because they're gonna need a place to put their games. Yeah. Well, Micah, how about we jump over to the next segment of our show? Let's go to the Community Corner. In today's Community Corner, we got some questions. First one from LPD, who asks, "What's the first thing you would do if you could fly?"
I feel like someone probably already said this, but fly would be my answer. I feel like I read that somewhere.
Yeah, that was Flightsy's answer. Very fitting. Fly around.
if I had the ability to fly, I was like, I feel like there's nothing I really need flying to be able to do besides just having fun flying.
Yeah, I'd probably like use it for my commuting if that's like
That would be
legally
cool.
allowed
Like
to do.
how fast are you flying? And is it as difficult to do as it is to run? Is it essentially like running but in the air?
You're just up
You're just
there.
running, but you're like 5 feet off the ground.
You're doing the BLSS. You're like having to shift back and forth.
Wiggle.
Yeah, wiggle back and forth. Yeah, I don't know what I would really do. Um, honestly, the first thing I'd probably do is clean the windowsill that I can't reach in my
I
stairway.
don't believe you.
Yeah, I would.
You would be like, "Oh boy, what a groundbreaking thing! I can fly now. I better clean that windowsill."
Yeah, change a light bulb up there if I need.
I
Pretty
think
cool.
that means you're officially an adult.
I'd put up.
A
Put up.
sad.
I'd be
sad
very
adult.
excited. I'd be very excited to decorate my house for Christmas because I could just like put lights up all over. That'd be so cool. I'd start a light business, a a light decorator or light fixture installer business because I wouldn't need any equipment. I just my body is the equipment.
That's pretty cool, I guess.
I mean, that's way safer than like fighting crime or something, you know? Like
Why would you fight crime? Being
because you
able
can
to fly
fly.
is
That's like what
actually
people
cool.
do when they can fly. They fight
But then-
crime.
Most people that can fly are also impervious to like bullets and things, though.
Yeah. If that's the case, then heck yeah, I'll fight crime. That'd be fun. That'd be awesome. Impervious to bullets. And then I just have to do this, and no one knows it's me.
Especially because you then have to be squinting.
Yeah.
So change your face shape.
Take off my glasses, and no one can see me. Yeah, I don't really have a good answer for this. I'd fly to visit you, Micah. But I feel like if I'm going that far, it's going to take a long time, or I'm going so fast that I'm going to freeze to death from just like sheer wind. Yeah. I also kind of have a
Is that how wind works? Because what if you're flying through some place that's really hot?
I don't know. I like the physics of it.
Because doesn't wind like cool you because it moves the air away from you, that your body's kind of heating up a little bit or something?
I don't know. I'm not gonna get into
So
this.
if
No,
it's-
this is
If,
too.
if it's hotter than your body outside, wouldn't wind just like warm you up or something?
I guess, but I was gonna say you completely derailed my train of thought. I have no idea what I was gonna say. Something about flying and nope. Oh, I have a fear of heights, so I don't know if I would even like this ability.
Would
If I'm-
you? Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
But if you can fly, do you think that would help your fear of heights?
Yeah, that's a good question. Or would I like always be a little nervous?
Just not be having a good time.
Cause like, what if I can't this time? What if this time it stops
it's like,
working?
hey, I suddenly randomly got the ability to fly.
But
it just
I
goes
think
away.
I think there's like an innate like human sense that has a fear of heights, right? So, but I think with time you would get over that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. But I don't know if that would be instantaneous. I think I would still be very afraid of heights for a little bit. Anywho, great question, LPD. Did you have another answer besides fly around, Micah? Or
I don't think so. I feel like if I suddenly had the ability to fly, it probably wouldn't even change my life all that much. It partially depends on how fast you can fly as well, and how easy it is.
So we have a most boring
So
answer.
I'd become a magician.
See, there you go.
Oh boy, look at this. I can fly.
Between
Magic.
your magic tricks and my light fixture business, we're gonna be bazillionaires.
That where I just become a sponsor for like Red Bull and let them pay me a bunch of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Red Bull seems to like to pay for extreme things like that. If you could fly, Red Bull would be all over sponsoring that. Okay. Next question from Presto. You want to ask this one?
Depends, where is this question?
In the community corner.
There's been
Underneath
so many
Spock.
comments in this community
It's
corner.
underneath Spock.
Oh, there it is. If you could turn one Nintendo game into an anime, what would it be, and why is it Mario Party?
It says Xenoblade. And why is it Xenoblade? Does Presto even play Xenoblade? I feel like he doesn't. I don't remember him talking about Xenoblade. This is just to make us feel bad.
In our community, plays Xenoblade.
Then there's this entire conversation about Pokemon. They should make Pokemon into an anime. Yeah, that would be a cool idea. That's pretty
they
great.
like really took that joke and ran with it.
I love our Discord. It's so fun. What's your answer here?
I mean, they got that great
Smash Bros.
Palutena reveal.
You know it.
Smash Bros. With Link.
The
and
Smash
Pit.
Bros. Anime is the right answer.
Just make the whole thing of the Smash Bros.
But if you can't do Smash Bros, because that one's kind of like all. If you had to pick just one franchise or series, what would you pick?
I think I'd probably give it to Metroid.
This is tough. I think.
Star Fox would also be good.
Yeah, Star Fox would be good. I don't know. I kind of want one that's like light-hearted action. So I'm trying to think.
Kirby. They already have a cartoon for that.
Yeah, they already have an anime Kirby. It's called Kirby the Animated Series. I don't know if that's really anime.
What it's called?
Yeah. That was great. That was a great show. Kirby, 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 he's the star of the show.
I've forgotten that song.
I'd probably give it to Kid Icarus.
I knew it. I knew it.
Because I feel like Zelda, I would like it to be more serious. A Zelda anime is what I want, for sure. But that would just be like really serious.
Too easy of an answer.
Yeah. So I'll probably go with Kid Icarus. We could have Speed Racer, F-Zero, F-Zero the anime. Actually, we have seen like anime Captain Falcon. Remember they in the Min Min reveal when he's like eating the bowl of soup, the bowl of noodles. Oh man, so good. So yeah.
Luigi's Mansion. That would be lighthearted, maybe a little scary, some action.
That would be. Yeah, or like a Mario anime would probably be pretty cool in general. Another question from Presto. So he says, hot take. The Pokemon games, other than Arceus and Scarlet and Violet, are boring. The only joy I find from them are the bits of story and the Pokemon themselves. What are your thoughts? He didn't ask this question. He asked it in my Twitch chat, but posed it again in the community corner, and I want to talk about it.
I feel like he's kind of right. I feel like the classic Pokemon games have gone a little stale. I mean, once they peaked with Crystal, it's been slightly downhill ever since.
Ever since Gen 2? The first one you played? You know what?
Not the first one I played. I played the original.
Oh, you did?
Oh. Kind of.
Yeah, I was like,
didn't own it, but my brother's friend had it.
Yeah, I played
play it as long as we didn't save over.
Technically, the first one I played was Silver, and but that's not my favorite, probably. Although Heart Gold and Soul Silver are really good. favorite's still probably Gen 3, which is like the first real one I played all the way through and had. So the best Pokemon game is the first one you played. And this is what I told Presto in the Twitch chat, and what I'll repeat here is that like nostalgia definitely plays a factor in the love of Pokemon games, right? And so if you're coming back as a new person going back and playing them, and you don't have that nostalgia, it might not work. But then again, it might, because my wife, Mugglemoo, for those that are on the Discord, played Pokemon Omega Ruby as her first Pokemon game, and this is like as an adult. I was like, you should try out a Pokemon game, and she tried it out, and she got all the way to the Elite Four and enjoyed her time with it. So I think it's this like part of the like, yes, the original Pokemon games are pretty rinse and repeat for every single game. And it really didn't change at all until Arceus and Scarlet and Violet. There was also, I guess, kind of the leap for Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon being more 3D.
Well, don't forget Hey You Pikachu, Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, that's not a mainline game. Those are spin-offs.
But those are the best ones.
Yeah, I think we're talking just mainline. Spin-off Pokemon games are all pretty fun. To some extent, I've liked all the ones I've played. But yeah, I think that's all of those things are kind of factors. Overall, I think that the old games are a lot of fun, but it's hard for me to separate what is nostalgia versus what is like this holds up. Yeah. I like change, and I like the change to a 3D open world Pokemon game. Arceus was like a half step. Scarlet and Violet embraces it more, but it still could go way further, and I think would be a really good game. And that's why I'm playing Pal World. Because you know what they're missing? Guns. We just need more guns. That's what we're missing. Come on. What makes America so great? It's guns. And that's what Pokemon's missing. I'm just kidding. I am just kidding, everybody. Please don't at me. But yeah, I do think that like changing up the formula while keeping the elements of the formula was a big theme for the Switch. Not just for Pokemon, but that also was the case for Mario and for Zelda. And yeah, try some more games with this new formula, and then we'll try more stuff, you know? And then maybe we'll full circle and go back to just 2D linear Pokemon games with more story. I don't know. I like the old games. All the old games that I played, I enjoyed them. So I can't really speak to it beyond that. Okay, that's enough blah 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 blah. Let's move on to last week we asked you. So you asked us questions in the community corner, and now we ask you a question. In last week we asked you, Micah, do you have the question? This is also a long history in the chat here.
So the question is, who? I feel like I phrased this like the worst way possible, but I don't want to think about how to phrase it better. Who would be who if the characters of The Princess Bride were replaced by Nintendo characters?
Yes, The Princess Bride, my favorite movie of all time. I'm gonna throw that out here. So I have high expectations from you all for your answers. So we'll start here with Presto, and I'll just go through his whole list. We can just alternate lists.
Start with the first response.
Oh, I'll throw this one in because it's short. This is from Dan. Retrologic Dan. Hello, my name is Waluigi. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And that just fits so perfectly.
I'm not gonna lie. When I thought of this question, that was the first person that I thought of.
Yeah.
So, like, I
And he
feel like
says he has the
Luigi
same
was-
mustache. He has the same mustache. And it's so true. Hello, my name is Waluigi. Gonna kind of throw the Italian accent on it. Ah, it's a Waluigi. You killed my father. Wah!
That's pretty good.
Prepare to wah! All right, Presto's list here. The first one is Buttercup. Princess Buttercup would be Daisy. Boo. This is just to trigger me.
Agree.
You agree?
100%.
Princess Buttercup is not a Princess Daisy. I am sorry. I am
Who
sorry.
do you think it would be?
I'll reserve till we've gone through them all. I think if I have to like put one on the spot, I'd probably say Zelda, like Breath of the Wild Zelda. It's Princess Buttercup.
I could see that. Except she's not a nerd.
Not that we know of. Yeah, Buttercup is just straight up damsel in distress, which Daisy is not. Daisy is not like damsel in distress type.
Buttercup isn't a damsel in distress.
She gets kidnapped immediately.
Like one time, but then she has her plan to escape.
And then she's damseled in distress to bad guys after being kidnapped by.
I think she's a little less damsel in distress than Peaches, though.
Yes, I agree.
Which is why I think Daisy is a better fit.
No, has Daisy ever been captured?
You're just biased.
I just hate Daisy. Yeah, I'll come out and say it. Daisy's the worst. Okay, Wesley will be Link in this list. Vizzini will be Tingle. That's a good pick. Inigo Montoya will be Waluigi, of course. The grandpa, like the grandpa from the very beginning and end. He's telling the story.
Tells the story.
Would be Toadsworth. All right, and the grandson.
The grandson is just Toad.
Baby Mario.
Oh no, it's not.
Okay. Miracle Max would be Egad. Oh, that's good. That's a good pick. Fezzik would be Wario. No. Fezzik's the giant.
The giant. Okay, yeah. I was like, is it?
I don't feel like Wario's a good fit. I mean, Wario's a big guy, but like personality-wise, Fezzik and Wario, I don't think could be any more different. Prince Humperdinck, played by King DDD. That's fit. And Count, is it Rugen? Rugen? The Six-Fingered Man would be Ganondorf.
Huh.
Okay. All right. I like the list. I think Tingle as Vizzini is so great, especially Wind Waker Tingle, where he captures people to work on Tingle Island.
Yeah,
and he's like
being there, I think.
he's like in prison in the beginning. Oh, that fits too well.
I got a different pick for Vizzini.
Oh, who are you picking?
I was actually thinking Wario.
Yeah.
I feel like Wario just probably thinks he's smarter than he is, and his ego is real big, just like Vizzini.
Yeah, you're like, oh, inconceivable. I gotta stop doing voices. I do such a bad job.
I think you should keep doing the voices. This is the thing. Let's see. We got a
Waluigi. So wait. Okay. So it's Wario as Vizzini, Waluigi as Inigo. So who's Fezzik then? If Fezzik's Donkey Kong, right?
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah. He's like, because like Donkey Kong's like a villain, but like also a lovable dork. Like, like a big teddy bear guy.
Yeah.
I think that's the trio. And I want this movie now. I want, or this game where they play that role. Okay.
I could see King DDD a little bit if he's not being a villain.
Do we have? I've got to like sift through this list here. You give us our next list.
Next list given by Maddie Beth,
Okay. Yeah.
I believe. The grandpa being Cranky Kong.
Okay. Back in my
The
day,
gran-
we read books. We only had 8 bits. There's like all the Cranky Kong dialogues are always pretty good.
And then we got the grandson being Diddy Kong, of course.
Yep, that fits.
Wesley, once again Link,
Okay.
which I agree with a bit, but I feel like Wesley's a little too talkative.
Yeah, and he's a little too
Link.
witty. He's a little too witty and like
Too suave.
yeah.
But I don't know who would be better.
Suavemente.
Yeah.
Ganondorf
So
Suavemente. Everybody go look up
Wow.
lore accurate Ganondorf fight.
it's so good.
It's the best video that came out in 2023. Hands down. I released a lot of videos in 2023. And even with that bias, this video far exceeds anything I put out. Anywho.
And the next Buttercup being Daisy again.
Boo! You all just doing this to make me mad.
it. Vizzini, Garahim, okay. I was not expecting to read that, but
I think Girahim is way too actually evil to be Vizzini. Vizzini just like thinks he's really smart, but is not.
yeah, but he's trying to like start a war or something, right? That's a
Yeah.
pretty evil thing.
Yeah.
And the next Inigo Montoya, Luigi.
Oh.
You know, I kind of like that.
My name
too.
is Luigi
It's-
Montoya. You killed my brother. Prepare to die. He's on a revenge quest because
Luigi's mansion, but
because
he
the
gets a
six
sword instead of a
Count
vacuum.
Rugen in this killed Mario, and Luigi's off on a mission to avenge his brother.
It's
Wow.
like the last what's it? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, the last Ronin.
Is it the last Ronin? Okay, yeah, where Michelangelo goes all dark because his brothers die.
Yeah.
Same thing, but Luigi.
Yeah. Also, I don't accept that as canon. That sucks. I don't want
You don't accept that as
Michelangelo.
canon?
No, I don't want Michelangelo to be the last one and be all angry and sad because his brothers died. That sucks. That's a
I
terrible
think
ending.
he's the best one.
I do think he's the best one, but that's a terrible ending for him as a character and that whole character thing.
You think he's the best one? How do you clip these things?
Oh,
I thought
shoot. Did I say that?
Donatello was the best one. You
Donatello
did.
is the best
You
one.
did say that.
Well, like if they, I was kind of more speaking for like he's the best one to be the last Ronin, either him or Raphael. But like Donatello, you wouldn't want him to be the last one with his
He's
brother. Like,
too nerdy.
yeah, and then
I don't
Leo's like too like leader responsible brother. It makes
Raphael's just too angry already.
yeah. Basically, they turned Michelangelo into Raphael, which makes me upset. I don't like that.
Kind of. Not quite Raphael. He's just.
I don't like it. I don't like
not
that.
So funny.
Yeah, no,
I
I
mean,
don't like
'cause
that.
we all been told that Michelangelo has the greatest potential as a fighter.
Who said that? Splinter?
I don't know. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure it's Splinter. I've watched actually very little.
You know very
Turtles,
little about Ninja
but
Turtles. But I know
did
enough.
see that. I did say here.
We are
or
getting
read that
very
said
sidetracked.
somewhere.
We are getting very sidetracked. What's next on the
Totally.
list?
Fezzik being Captain Falcon.
What? What?
I don't know if I see that.
I don't. This doesn't vibe with me. I don't get it.
But feel free to explain it because I'm sure that you have good reasonings.
Yeah.
Things for that. But Prince Humperdinck Sephiroth. Okay.
These
Oh,
are okay.
Prince
Hey,
Humperdinck is a little too incompetent compared to Sephiroth, I
well,
think.
Prince Humperdinck is definitely evil, but like yeah, like Sephiroth is like evil incarnate. Like
And
Sephiroth is a
he's good at
force of
fighting.
evil.
Humperdinck's kind of a coward.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That the scene where Humperdinck like where he's like drop your sword and Humperdinck just like gives up. Like
I mean, it wasn't
Sephiroth
good.
would never.
It's, no, he just draw his sword that's 3 times longer.
Yeah.
And stab.
And then be like, "Hey, Cloud, do you want to hang out, Cloud?" Like, I like, yeah. He just wants to be friends with Cloud. He's obsessed with Cloud.
I haven't played those games enough to dispute that, but
To
I feel like
dispute
that's
that.
not quite right. But Count Rugen, Waluigi.
He's the six-fingered
Interesting.
man, and Luigi's after him. Okay. This checks
I don't
out.
know why, but when I once again when I first saw this question, I thought of Waluigi as Inigo, and then I was like, nah, Waluigi's too evil to be him. He would maybe be the counterpart, but I wasn't decided either way. But for some reason, Waluigi was the first person I casted in my mind.
I'm rubbing off on you.
But these were my two. Well, I just want Waluigi to be a terrible character in everything.
Yeah, but you casted him as Inigo Montoya instantly in your mind.
Yeah, which is one of the greatest characters. But then I thought, wait, that's too good for Waluigi, and then I cast him as the villain.
It's a Freudian slip, I think. That's where you went. That's the last one on this list.
He's got a mustache. Miracle Max. Magic Koopa.
Okay. Okay. I dig it. I dig it. I think so. I think the villain characters, with the exception of Waluigi, who I do feel like fits for that. Sephiroth and Girahim are way too evil to be playing Vizzini and Prince Humperdinck. That's my opinion there. Do we have any more submissions? There's a lot of discussion.
One more. Yeah, a lot of people discussing about how it came out like 100 years ago before people were born.
What? Wait, where's one more? Where?
Adorable Will. They just got the rodents of unusual size.
Okay. Fedorable will put in a response for the rodents of unusual size, Wario and Wallow. Why are they so easy to cast in everything? Why are they so easy to cast in everything? Every single time we do these, they're always in these lists. Waluigi's in every single list. You might hate him, Micah, but he's...
Oh, I hate him, so I cast
in
him
everything. Yeah.
Bad people. This is the best casting. Rodents of unusual size. Wario and Waluigi.
Okay, well, give me... So,
nailed it.
So give me your idea for a list.
Yeah, I really didn't think about it too much.
I didn't
Mostly
either.
Daisy as Buttercup. It's like I kind of want to say Link, but once again, Wesley's too talkative. But I wasn't sure. You know, let's just throw in Shulk. Shulk can be Wesley.
No, I cast.
Game, so I'm sure he's a ladies' man.
No, I cast
Falcon.
Captain Falcon. Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Captain Falcon is my Wesley because he's like, show me your moves.
Yeah,
and he's like so confident and like would just be perfectly doing everything. Like Captain Falcon could be a pirate for sure, like a pirate captain.
Oh,
yeah.
And then Vizzini, Wario.
Yeah, that's a good casting. Who did I cast as who always is going for like hired help to get things done.
I mean, Bowser Jr.?
Yeah, it was like Bowser Jr. maybe.
Or
Bowser
maybe
Jr. does fit.
Sending out.
Yeah, but Vizzini is like a small like his thing is all intellect. Like that's he's like I'm a battle of the minds. I don't have the bronze or the sword skills. So, which Bowser does. Bowser's huge and
Yeah.
will often. But who's like a small villain character?
Meta Knight's small. That's the only thing
No.
that fits with him, though.
I'm going to go with what's his name? Olimar's friend.
Alf?
Alf. Yep.
Is it Alf or Alpho, or is it just Alf? But he's not a villain.
Yes, he is. You can't convince me otherwise. No, Alf is the is the main character for Pikmin 3.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
What is his name?
Oh, Louis.
Louis. Yep. Louis. Louis is Vizzini, and I will not be convinced otherwise. He thinks he's really smart, but he's not.
I disagree.
And then Physic, big, kind-hearted guy. I mean, I think our casting is perfect. Actually, it's Wario for Vizzini, Waluigi's Inigo Montoya, and Physic is Donkey Kong. I think that's the perfect trio. They would be hired to kidnap someone. And Donkey Kong would just be there for the snacks. Anybody want a peanut?
Yeah, just change the rhyme to a banana or something, though.
Oh, this is good.
Canada. You pronounce Canada real weird. What other things rhyme with banana, though?
Fee-Fi Fofana.
That's not. That doesn't count.
The name Hannah.
Cabanas.
Cabana.
Bandanas.
Bandana.
There's a whole list. Masses. Oh, those are like slant rhymes or something.
Okay.
Savannas. Pianos. That what? No.
Pianos and bananas. Yeah, don't you know? Bananas, pajamas.
I feel like I've heard that.
Bananas in pajamas. How did I forget about that? Okay, who else are you casting? Because we have the grandpa and grandson. For some reason, I feel like Ness or Lucas for the grandson.
I guess I could see that. I was like, for the grandpa?
No.
Let's see. I feel Toadsworth. That's pretty good. They both got mustaches.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I thought Cranky Kong was a good casting for that.
I thought that's pretty good, but I feel like Cranky Kong's a little too cranky. Grandpa like kind of pretends to be cranky a little bit. I feel like.
How about Rosalina? She likes to read stories.
You know what? Why not? Why
Rosalina reading to Lucas.
I can see that. I guess if I try real hard and squint.
Yeah.
Miracle Max, I think, stays as EGAD. I don't think I got a better one.
Miracle Max.
Or Dr. Mario.
Actually, that'd be pretty fun. Dr. Mario. Yeah, that's a good pick. And then we have the villains. We got Prince Humperdinck, Count Rugen.
I do kind of like the King DDD as Humperdinck.
Yeah, because
kind of a villain, but also a little bit of a pushover.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
for Count Rugen. Well, it has to be somebody that really enjoys torturing people. Which
Tom Nook.
we never cast Tom Nook as a villain because he's a hero. But it's funny. It's funny. That's funny for sure. Oh man, that's good.
What about King Boo?
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like King Boo's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. But then when you're looking at him, he's like, oh no, that's real scary. It's kind of the same as Rugen. He's like, oh boy, I'm really gonna enjoy this fight. Wait a second. This guy's better than me, so I better run.
Yeah, and he also likes to do lots of experiments and torture his subjects. Like Luigi's Mansion is just torturing Luigi. So that
Yeah.
fits. That checks out. So there you go. There's our fan casting for that. Thank you so much for the response to this question. I liked it a lot. Boopity boop 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 boop. That means we're at the last segment of the show. Micah, let's jump on over to the pal topic. Wait. Actually, we need to ask last week we asked you. We've been forgetting to do that. And we have a list
We have to come up with one.
No, we have a list of questions to ask. So I throw a dart. Who is the most iconic Nintendo villain and why? Bowser from Super Mario? Ganondorf from The Legend of Zelda? Or some other antagonist? Give us your favorite Nintendo villain. Louie, as we discussed earlier.
Waluigi. Mario DDR.
There you go. Okay, so now we can jump. That's next week's question. So prep your answers, post them on Discord, or hit us up on social media, or if you're listening to this on Spotify, there's a comment section you can leave an answer to that question there. Let's go over to the pal topic. Today's pal topic, plot twist. It's plot twists in Nintendo games. We're going to give our top 10 plot twists in Nintendo games. Micah and I have independently come up with a list of 5. So hopefully we don't have any overlap, or we're going to have to come up with some on the fly.
I think we might have one.
Okay. So let's get started. I'll give you my first one here. These aren't necessarily in any order for me. Do you have yours in order?
Same.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. My first one is going to be the Kid Icarus Uprising fake credits. So this happens. Oh man, I gotta remember which levels there are. This happens at a point in the game where you think it's the end. Yeah. Okay. So chapter 9 of the game. The chapter's called Medusa's Final Battle. And you're like, all right, we've been working up to this point. We've collected
the final battle, just Medusa's.
Yeah. We've collected the artifacts from the first game that you used to defeat Medusa, and now it's the final fight against Medusa. And it ends in chapter 9, and you kind of think okay, there'll probably be a chapter 10. But no, it ends. You're like, oh, 9 chapters. And I remember going,
That's pretty short.
This game was pretty quick. It wrapped up pretty... I mean, it still felt like an end point. And, it was kind of talking about how you could, go back and play level. I feel like I was looking at it it uses the heart system from Smash Bros. Is actually from the Kid Icarus first, where you, can put more points in to increase the difficulty meter, but then you lose more if you lose. So it's like a gambling system when you start on the difficulty. So there's kind of that incentive to go back and play levels again on harder difficulties. And so I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But it was fake. That was a fake ending. In fact, the game was just over a third of the way done, actually. Because there are a total of 25 chapters in the game. So, yeah. And the story goes all over the place post chapter 9. You have the nature goddess bomb, like nuke the planet with nature nukes. You've got a moon base. You have Hades trying to take over the world. An alien invasion happens, and everybody stops fighting to team up and stop the alien invasion. And then you go back to fighting. It's actually bonkers how many turns the story takes. But it's a lot of fun. Oh, no, I completely forgot about then Palutena gets like mind controlled by something that you released in an earlier level, and then there's like a time skip, and you go you wake up like 7 years in the future, and you have to go save Palutena, and then you get to stop Hades. The fake credits were Hades. Like he rips off the credits. Like the credits have a big tear. He's just like, shh. He's like, haha, I'm the real villain. Woohoo. And that was just a really good twist. It got me.
Nice.
It got me good. What's yours? What's your first one?
Mine is Bobby the Bob-omb sacrificing himself for you. I mean, it's not necessarily too much of a twist because they like. I feel like they make it kind of obvious that's what
Kind of, but
Bobby the Bob-omb thinks is going to happen, but at the same time, it's like, nah,
they won't do that. They won't
that
kill.
won't happen. And then it happens, and it was devastating.
Truly one of the saddest moments in Nintendo games.
Yeah, I guess we should preface this. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Spoilers for plot twists in Nintendo games. Yeah, I was devastated when that happened. I think I had that spoiled for me, though. I saw that was going to happen, and I think it would have been more of a twist for me if I had seen it first. Which I have a twist on here that was 100% spoiled for me. But that's not this one. This next one for me is the ending of Metroid Dread. So it's plot twist after plot twist for the end of Metroid Dread. One, okay, spoilers for Metroid Dread. Spoilers. We should spoiler tag all this whole thing. One, the Adam you have been talking to, your computer buddy, was fake the entire time. It was actually the main villain. Two, the main villain has orchestrated everything up to this point so that you could, like, I don't even remember what his plan was really, but
yeah,
so that he can like use you as a warrior, like to recreate Metroids.
Like clone you or something. I can't remember actually.
Three, you are a Metroid.
Metroid.
You are the Metroid, not the Metroid Prime. Different.
Not yet.
And that the twist ending of the Metroid, like you are a Metroid, and that helps you get out of certain death for the after you fight the final boss. And then to top it all off, you get back to your ship, and you can't touch anything because you are too Metroided. You're on too many. You're on too many Metroids. You know what I'm saying? Oh, roids, Metroids. You'll drain your ship of power, and the X-Parasite that looks like a Chozo that you saved earlier, that took over that Chozo, is there, and it saves you. It takes your.
It like calms you down.
It depowers your Metroidness, and then Luke Skywalker's away, Force Ghost, and then you escape the planet as it explodes. So it kind of like turns out that the X-Parasite kind of, if it absorbed the Chozo, and the Chozo somehow remained conscious. I think more accurately, it absorbs like the essence and the purpose of that thing that it absorbs. Kind of similar to.
Doesn't it absorb like things?
and
I mean,
copy
it
them.
absorbs like all the animals, and then all the animals get extra mean.
Yeah. But I mean, same with Metroids themselves, do that same kind of thing. And then you had the baby. The baby. Metroid has a lot of twist endings,
Yep. Just
but
like
I think Metroid
this
Dread
was
was my
it.
favorite. Oh,
For
yeah.
a spoiler alert for Metroid, Samus is a girl.
That was a good one.
Good twist.
That's a good one. Yeah,
Decided
for
to
the
go with
original one,
the
no one knew.
original.
Like, could you imagine Darth Vader's like, "No, Luke, I am your
your
mother." Yeah, that would have been like it's like that
Oh,
level.
it's so funny.
That's a good answer. Okay, my next plot twist is 2 in one game, and that's Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Oh.
1. Okay, spoilers for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Main game. 1. They kick you out of the core and village and leave you out to die, which was a big twist to me. I didn't really see that coming. And I thought that was like a really interesting and wild story change. It's like, okay. And then 2, big spoilers, and this was spoiled for me. Gosh, what is his name?
That ninja dude.
Volo.
Turns out to be a ninja dude.
Volo. No, you're ninja dude. Volo the merchant guild guy?
Wasn't there some other dude who turned out to be like a ninja?
Oh, yeah, no, yes. That was the chef,
That's what
wasn't
I thought
it?
you were gonna. Yeah, the chef. Yeah.
No, I wasn't gonna say. I was gonna talk about Volo. Volo was a much more of a twist villain. It turns out Volo was behind bringing you to the past, and it was all to like bring Arceus out of hiding. He's like an Arceus worshiper or a gear, and he has a Giratina. That's how he did it. Something like that.
Yeah. All I remember is that last fight was actually kind of brutal.
Yeah, insanely hard. Volo. Well, the real kicker to me in this is that that's all like post credit content.
Oh yeah.
You roll credits and
You have to,
this
like,
stuff happens.
Catch like all the Pokemon.
Yeah, you have to get so far to get to this, and he's been your friend the entire time. Like he's like, and at first I thought like, yeah, this guy's sketchy. Like something's up. But then you roll credits and you're like, okay, well, and he helps you when you're kicked out of the village and stuff. There's so many points where it's like, why did he help you? I don't understand.
Because he's a homie.
The homie that actually is evil and wants to kill you at the end. I don't understand what his plan was really, but it was a good twist for
He
sure.
could draw out Arceus first or something like that.
Yeah, who knows?
Remember.
Next twist for you.
Golden Sun. Spoilers for Golden Sun. So if you haven't played it on NSO yet,
Oh man, I better.
You probably shouldn't listen to this.
Just kidding.
But,
I'll be
play
spoiled.
through the whole first Golden Sun game, stopping some people from lighting the elemental lighthouses. I don't want to get too in depth. You stopping these people. You essentially stop them. And then at the start of the second game, you play a little more and realize, wait a second, you need to do that or the world is going to end. So you turn around and instead of trying to stop people from doing those, you go on to light the rest of them.
Awkward.
But those other people are giant jerks.
Yeah, so you play the entire game thinking you're being a hero and you're not. It's like
I mean, you're still
how-
kind of being a
I feel like I have played another game like this where it's like you play the entire time and you're like, oh wait, are we the bad guys? But what game was it?
feel like sounds familiar. I feel like you
Doesn't
asked
it?
that at some point.
Yeah.
Or maybe, oh no, actually, that's because Lincoln sent me a video of something unrelated. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, my next twist. This is a big one. This is a Darth Vader is Luke's father moment. Spoilers for a game that is very old. Sheik is Zelda.
I'm gonna rearrange my list a little bit.
Is that what you have? You have that on your list?
Nope, because I got a better one.
Yeah, I assume that you have the other. Blank is
No
Zelda.
better.
Sheik is Zelda. When you like, it's so common knowledge now, just like the Darth Vader is Luke's father. But like experiencing the game, you've never played it before, you have no idea. This was the plot twist of the century, I think. It was like, holy cow, no way! This is up there with Metroid as a girl. Just keep saying this is a girl.
Yeah, Sheik is a girl.
Sheik is a girl? Yeah, that's true.
That's almost as good as the plot twist in Wind Waker, where you find out that Tetra is Zelda.
Yeah.
She's been there like the whole time helping you.
And how come in both of these cases, Princess gets significantly lamer when they are not their disguised self?
What are you talking about? She helps you fight.
She does, but she was cooler as Tetra.
I mean, kind of. But
Yeah.
she's still Tetra. She just wears a dress now.
Yeah, and isn't as sassy.
For
like, her
a
personality
certain
changes,
event.
kind of. But she feels bad for something she didn't even do. Like, she's like, I'm so sorry to drag you into this.
Well,
like, what do
she
you
just has a
mean?
lot of
You've never.
Responsibility now.
Yeah. What's your last one? Is your last one big? So my last
It's probably
one, I
the
think.
biggest spoiler because it's the most recent game, I think.
Okay, you go first. You go first.
Well,
Spoilers.
yeah, spoiler for Luigi's Mansion. He doesn't actually win a legit mansion in those like sweepstakes. It is a trap. And
Was that for real?
Mario has been turned into a painting. Also,
I thought it was. Yeah,
the main boss of that game is King Boo. It's not even Bowser. Bowser's head falls off. But actually, that wasn't my last one. I only remember that second part later. That was my honorable mention. My last one is from Sea of Stars. So if you haven't played Sea of Stars, or if you haven't 100%ed Sea of Stars, because they got some little extra stuff at the end that actually changes things quite a bit. Because we talked about, I did the review for Sea of Stars, and I was like, it's great. The spoiler stuff is happening right now. So last chance. And I was like, man, Garl is the best part of this game. He's awesome. He's like the team mascot. He's like the regular dude. He's like the Sokka of Team Aang. And then 2 days later, when I was playing, he freaking dies.
Oh.
And I was like, wait a second, what the crap? So I was not expecting that at all. But then, extra good stuff. You can do some extra optional stuff. And you essentially, well, kind of find out that due to fancy time stuff, he's not actually dead. And you can sort of save him. And he like rejoins your team.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you can get like the true ending of the game. But you don't need to do that, like any of that. So I thought that was a real nice touch.
That's cool.
I just remember like giving my review and like 2 days later he dies and I'm just like, I can't tell anyone about this. This is horrible. Why would this happen?
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool twist.
It's a good game.
I like it when there's a twist and it has meat, but then it also like like ends up being good. That makes any sense.
Yeah, and I mean,
I
you still play a pretty good amount of the game without him,
Yeah.
and you like
So
recruit
you
different.
so there's weight to it. He's actually dead.
Yeah,
Well, I have a couple honorable mentions I'm going to throw out here, and they're for Pokemon games. So one, uh, well, two are actually all three of these honorable mentions are Pokemon games and champion reveals. Uh, Red and Blue,
another one that
when you first beat the Elite Four and you get to fight the champion, and surprise, it's Blue, your rival. It's Gary Oak, the annoying kid, the worst rival, but also the best rival because he was actually mean. And then you get that's the final showdown is with him. And then in Crystal, Gold, Silver, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, the ending, the true ending of the game, the final fight when you go up to the top of the mountain and fight Trainer Red, the player character from the first game. That was pretty epic. Pretty good twist. And then lastly, I'll throw in from the recent Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Spoilers. Professor Turo or Professor. What's her name?
what's I'm just thinking, Schmebulok. Does that help?
Sada. Oh, I was close. Yeah. Okay. Sasa. I was like,
I feel like you even like almost said it.
yeah.
Like
Professor
completely.
Turo and Professor Sada, or whichever game you're playing. Uh, Plot twist: they are cyborgs. They're not
I feel
real.
like Sada should have been like some weird voodoo clay golem thing or something somehow to fit more with the prehistoric theming, but
Yeah, but it's also like
that to
they
be a little
invented a
weird.
time machine, so it's all sci-fi
Yeah,
sciency.
well, they should have used voodoo magic or something for that too. Then
Yeah, I mean, honestly, their plan and the story around that was like, what is going on? They're like, we have a time machine. We could catch Pokemon in the past. It's like,
that'd be awesome.
I was like, okay. And then we also catch Pokemon from the future, depending on which game you're playing. And all the future Pokemon are just iron blank.
Yeah,
they're
the
all
naming for future
they're all
Pokemon
just
isn't
they're all just
fantastic.
robots as well. It's like, what's going on? Um, but yeah, so, like that was I feel like that was a pretty big twist when that hits. It kind of spells it out a little bit, but you don't see that until the very end area. You're like, they're talking with you. You're like, oh, something is off with the professor down here. Yeah, there you go. But my true answer, that wasn't my final answer. My final answer is a Nintendo game.
Plock. When you realize the amulet you've been searching for is on the statue
Was
the whole
under the
time.
statue the whole time. It's Divinity Original Sin 2, which
Is this
has
the plot twist where I killed you at the end? And this
that
ended up
was a plot twist, but that was one we made. The plot twist that Dallas is Fane's daughter.
I don't even remember that. I
Oh,
have no recollection
that's
of
a
that.
big twist. Or how about
I just remember that she's like some undead dragon or something crazy. I don't remember her being Bane's daughter.
Dallas the Hammer? Yep. Yeah, and she's super angry at Fane because Fane disappeared. Who does she work for though? She works for
The Bados.
no, he's not the Bados. So in the end, she was like not actually evil,
What are
even
you
though she
talking
was.
about? I don't care what you say. I don't remember this game very well, apparently. But she was absolutely evil. The things she was doing to people, evil.
No. Well, yes, but no.
But yes. No excuses.
Well, because you don't remember the story of the game. Maybe we need to play it again. Or if you remember the void creature things that are coming through are coming through because of Source. And so she was working with the villains from Act 1 and 2 to which they are villains because they're capturing innocent people that have Source and they're just trying to kill everybody with Source to prevent the end of the world, essentially. But then it turns out in the very end, she is working for what's his name? What's his name? The Divine One. You know who I'm talking about?
Godric? Should have some Elden Ring.
Alexander's father?
Lucian the Divine?
Lucian the Divine. Turns out he's alive.
Wow, what a twist. I don't even remember that guy.
Well, he's the main character from Divinity Original Sin 1.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
And Alexander is his biological son. And Lucian was somehow like I didn't play the first game, but he had somehow prevented the end of the world by basically becoming the vessel of Source or something along those lines. And then it had started to go out. And at the end of the game, Dallas was working with him behind the scenes the whole time to try and prevent the end of the world. The more you know. And
I still think he's a villain.
They're like, they did bad things to try and save the world. They're kind of like Kelsier in Brandon Sanderson.
But worse.
I don't know, man. Ghost Bloods do some pretty messed up stuff.
We don't. Well, also spoilers.
yeah, spoilers. Big spoilers for Brandon Sanderson books. I am so sorry to everybody. But all of that was just really twisty to me.
There's a lot of facts we don't know about that.
Yeah. And also, Fane was who I played as. So that was, it was like,
so you were
my character. There's like a personal investment.
Would you say you were pretty good at that game?
I guess. Why?
So some might say that you were a profane player.
I can't. All right, let's end this episode. That's our top 10 twists from Nintendo games. Divinity Original Sin 2 is so good. The story is so good. It's long.
The combat is also fantastic.
And it makes me very excited to get off this call and go play Baldur's Gate because we're about to hit a big story point in that as well. So let's do that, Micah. But before we do, why don't you tell people where they can find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitch at Micah Prem.
And you can find me gallivanting about on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok under the name Andros1. And, what was I going to... I want to shout out our Patreon supporters. We've got T-Bone, who has just joined the Patreon this week. It was the shout out we gave at the beginning of the episode. Thank you so much for joining us up here, T-Bone. He's also in the chat tonight. Yo! Welcome. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining at the Yup tier. We've got Nick Lanoy, Fedorable Will, Monkey Thunder, Madison Purple Riolu, Lava Plays, John Cummins, Lil Miss 7, Tim A, aka Neoprime 33, aka Nintendo Dad number 4, Seth Sturgill, LPD. His name isn't LPD in here. It's Liam D, but LPD. I always read it and then I have process. Just like I do for Brian Reese, a.k.a. Rizzle29. And then we've got Shannon, a.k.a. Spider Shan. Solo, a.k.a. Solo something. I'll never not call him Solo something, because we're on a full name basis with Solo. And of course, last but not least, and certainly will work for games, it's Mute Dog the Gamer. Thank you all for your fantastic support over on Patreon. We appreciate all you do and hope that we are providing enough service to justify those purchases. Thank you all so much. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you on the flip side. But before we go, because I got to line up a raid, Micah.
Yes.
What is your favorite thing to learn about in history?
That's a almost good question.
Almost a good question.
You know what? I don't really like learning about history.
Really?
It's kind of boring. Oldie time things.
Yeah, I enjoy learning about
Not like a specific thing, I guess. Just
like
some things are interesting.
I enjoy learning about like World War-esque stuff. And so that includes World War 1, 2, but also like the Roman Empire takeover and that time Napoleon took over half the world. Like that's always interesting to learn about. But yeah. But most of all, we want to say thank you for joining us for this, and we hope you guys enjoy the raid. We're raiding Player 5 tonight, so for those listening to the podcast, go check out Player 5. World record holder for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, any % speedrun. Peace out, everybody. And remember, always brush your teeth, morning and night.